squad of the college football season makes a stop in sunny San Diego, where tonight San Diego State opens their season at Qualcomm Stadium with intercity rival San Diego from the Pioneer Football League. It's the Aztecs and the Toreros of the Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. Hello again, everybody. So good to have you with us. Alongside Darius Walker, I'm Ray Crawford. And Darius, we've got two programs trending upward. The Toreros making the FCS playoffs for the first time in their school history a year ago, while San Diego State made their fifth straight bowl appearance. And fortunately for the Aztecs and Rocky Long, they've got Donnell Pumphrey back in that offensive backfield.
Yeah, we have the opportunity to watch one of the most explosive players in all of college football in Donnell Pumphrey. Now, the thing is, he's 5'9", 180 pounds, but he plays so much bigger than that. He can break tackles, but most of all, he's explosive, can hit the home run at any time.
Another pretty good one on the other side, and Jonah Hodges, the former Cal transfer.
Yeah, Hodges has emerged as a workhorse for USD, over 1,200 yards a year ago, and the big number is 273 yards in one game against Stinson last year. He's really good. Expect to see him tote the rock quite a bit today.
I got a little number for you. 8 miles, that's all that separates these two campuses, but it's just the second time these two programs have ever met in football. The last time JFK was president. How about that?
I wasn't born then.
More coming up from Qualcomm Stadium, including the kickoff here in the Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. Back here in beautiful San Diego, the San Diego State Aztecs all ready to start the season here against the Toreros tonight. The third member of our broadcast team, we patrolling the sidelines for us. Let's say hi to Shea Pepler. Hey, Shea.
Went on, and let's go back to those two backs you guys talked about in the open, starting with San Diego State's Donnell Pumphrey, and talking with Rocky Long. His one area concern for him is, while he's bigger and faster and stronger heading into his junior campaign, is taking care of the football, because he has not been fully tackled since last fall. And then for the Toreros defense, their head coach Dale Lindsey just said you got to really look out for him, because if you miss him, who's going to get down the field and stop him? So they're really looking out for Donnell Pumphrey tonight. Dale Lindsey also talked about his featured back, Jonah Hodges, and said he's really the reason this Torero squad won 9 games last season. Said he plays a lot bigger than he is at 5'9", and if you get him into some space, he can really break free and get some big-time points for this squad. So, guys, the running game really the focal point of tonight's game. Darius, I know you're excited about this, right?
Yeah, you know, as a former running back, I got to tell you, I'm amped up here in the booth to watch these two running backs let loose.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly a game that we're enjoying, and there's still, though, question marks for these two teams offensively. I think one thing is for certain is that San Diego State defense, 13th nationally in points per game in FBS, and whenever Rocky Long is running a defense, you know they're going to be stout.
You know, it most certainly does, and San Diego State is interesting because they're normally known for this high-powered offense. You hear about Donnell Pumphrey, the Ronnie Hillmans, the Adam Uwemas, all these top backs that they have, and they put up a bunch of points. But quietly, Rocky Long has created a defense that is just astounding. He has truly perfected the 3-3-5.
What you're getting a good look at right now is the new uniforms. What do you think of those, Darius? The all black with the red helmets and kind of that Aztec calendar.
Yeah, it's got the calendar on the helmet, the big black stripe as well. They're really excited about it. And as recruits and as younger players, I can tell you from experience back in my days at Notre Dame, you get excited about cool things. The uniform is definitely cool.
There you get a good look at Rocky Long, at least the fifth-year head coach, 7th overall here. We mentioned 5 straight bowl appearances, 2-time Mountain West Coach of the Year. And on the other side for San Diego, Dale Lindsey in his 3rd season replaced Ron Carragher, who went on after success there with the Toreros to San Jose State.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job too. 17-6 in the last 2 seasons, and we mentioned it at the top. They got their very first FCS playoff berth last year. So USD is excited about things to come under Dale Lindsey.
So we're set to kick this one off here at Qualcomm Stadium. So good to have you with us. Ray Crawford here alongside Darius Walker in the booth. Shea Pepler on the sideline. Opening weekend here throughout college football. And it's Donnie Hagman who will get things underway, tees it up and kicks it off. And it's going to be Jerick Armstrong with a couple of feet into the end zone. Will bring it out across the 15 before he is stopped there at the 12-yard line. And that's where the USD offense will come out and set up in their opening possession, as they won the toss and elected to receive to start the game.
Now you notice the big hit there. That's going to be the big question for USD today, is if they can match the physicality. The physicality of this ball game, that's going to be the question and something that we'll track as we get a shot at Trey Wheeler here taking over the reins. Inexperienced, only had seen action in 3 games last year, but they're high on this guy. They think he's poised and can get the job done at a high level.
Yeah, Keith Williams, the starter last year, decided that he wanted to transfer, so it's Wheeler's job, who won out of camp. And the first handoff is to Jonah Hodges, his first carry of the season. It will go as a 1-yard loss. So for the Toreros, among those offensive stars, you see Hodges there, as well as Wheeler, also Ross Dwelly, a PFL preseason first-team selection. Played 12 games with 23 grabs, 219 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he'll certainly be a part of the passing game, which Wheeler throws, and his pass is picked off. Bringing it back the other way, Calvin Munson, and he'll take it into the end zone. And the Aztecs turn an interception into their first 6 points of the season.
Well, obviously, not the way you want to start for USD. We mentioned them trying to match the physicality of San Diego State in this game. And this all starts up front for the Aztecs. And so much of this game is about momentum.
And a 19-yard return, that's certainly not the start that the Toreros want to have, as Hagman comes out to try the extra point. Perfect on 37 attempts a year ago, and is 1 for 1 to start the 2015 season. The 14th consecutive start for the junior linebacker in Calvin Munson. 31 tackles a year ago, and all Mountain West honorable mention after last year, and I'd say this is a pretty good start to 2015, wouldn't you?
Yeah, to say the least here. And again, this all starts up front. Watch Wheeler here at 12. He gets color in his face and just throws the football. Just so happened that Calvin Munson was right there, and he's got the speed to take it the distance. But we mentioned Trey Wheeler being thrown into action because of the transfer from Keith Williams, and that just goes to show you there that inexperience. You got to, the worst thing you could do there is throw the interception. At the very least, just take the sack if you don't see anyone open.
Yeah, we knew this defense was good, and certainly they kind of show their colors here early on in this game. So Munson cooling off, getting a little bit, he's got to get ready to get back out there.
Oh yeah, it's right back out on the field, looking to do it again.
I'll ask you, because there is a little bit of a twilight down here.
Yeah,
does that
slightly
affect anything, the vision at all, you think, for Wheeler as they're coming out of that end?
It's hard to say from our vantage point here, but I mean, it's something that you certainly have to think about if you're the quarterback in this case. But again, I think he saw color there and just kind of, it was a lot of pressure in his face, and so he just kind of reacted in the negative way. But experience is the best teacher there.
Yeah, so this time Hagman with the kick that goes into the end zone, and that's going to be taken there by Armstrong, and a touchback as he takes a knee. So Trey Wheeler will try it again, and something with quarterbacks, you want to get the confidence, and you want to get right back out there. And as a coach, do you want to try to get him to throw the football again, to try to complete a pass?
You do. You really want to get him into a rhythm. But the biggest thing for USD in this case is you don't want this game to get away from you. So you got to settle down. They're in a big atmosphere that they're not necessarily used to. They need to settle down and get a methodical drive right now. Not looking to score touchdowns, just looking to get a first down.
So here's the handoff to Hodges. Hodges is able to dive ahead for a pickup of 4. And Shea, once again, I mean, the running game has to come alive here for San Diego and to get things going here offensively.
Yeah, you guys talked about settling down. It's interesting because there's a lot of chippiness going on for so early in the game. A lot of guys yelling back and forth at each other. So settling down, definitely, I think, the key here early on.
Isn't that a part of it, Darius, a little bit of the kind of the intimidation factor, and each team, opposing teams, especially at the Aztecs, with so much confidence after the season last year and all the high expectations this year?
Yeah, most certainly, and especially with a game like this where you're talking about two teams that are literally like 5 to 8 miles apart from each other.
Yeah.
So they're very close. So a lot of these guys probably knew each other in high school, knew each other beforehand, and they're getting a chance to play against each other again. So the rivalry is definitely there, even though they may not play each other every year.
Well, you get a look there at Ross Dwelly, that tight end, all-conference performer, as he breaks and comes out of the huddle and reveals Trey Wheeler. Senior played in those 3 games, 3 touchdown passes a year ago. He's looking to throw here again, and the pass near side is behind Hodges a little bit, and that's going to fall incomplete. They're going to have to punt the football away.
Definitely not the reaction that you wanted from USD in terms of throwing the interception, and then the Aztecs score the touchdown, and then they come back and go 3 and out. You're not helping yourself there. Again, you got to stop the bleeding here. You don't want this game to get away from you is the most important thing for USD. But it all starts with Trey Wheeler, him seeing the field and making the throws.
So it's Ryan Belden who gets the punt away. An end-over-end kick here, taking it about the 33, and stop there. Good defensive coverage here on special teams by San Diego. And Fia Malape comes up with the special teams tackle. Be back in a moment. San Diego State strikes first in the interception. Coach Rocky Long, there you see his numbers in 4 seasons here for the Aztecs and leading this program. The all-time winningest coach in Mountain West Conference history. Had a chance to sit down with him. A pleasure always to kind of pick the brain of the coach. And, well, he's doing some innovative things from time to time. Shea will tell us a little bit about that, I'm sure, as the night goes on. As we're going to get our first look now at this Aztecs offense here, led out by quarterback Maxwell Smith, taking his first snap since November 2nd, 2013. This is one thing Rocky Long was concerned about, and let's get the call here.
False start, number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
First game mistakes like that, the pre-snap penalties. He was a little bit concerned about that.
Yeah, that's number 75, Wade Miller. And the issue with week 1 a lot of times is you have these jitters. Everyone is so anxious about finally playing against someone else. San Diego State is going to settle down a little bit here and get the play in.
So they march off the penalty and driving up the middle and being stacked up and stopped there is Donnell Pumphrey on his first carry of 2015. Went much like Hodges' effort in his first carry.
And that's the thing I think that's really important here is the offensive line play. When you talk about offensive line and winning that battle of the trenches, that's what we're seeing early on in this game. So for Donnell Pumphrey and the Aztecs, they're really trying to find those creases early. But it hurts yourself when you start off with a penalty. Now you got to do some things that you probably wouldn't want to in terms of passing and trying to get yards back.
Well, it goes for just a 1-yard gain. Smith back to pass, fire to the right side. He's got Pumphrey, who finally gets just beyond the original line of scrimmage.
Now that's a
7-yard
matchup.
pickup.
That's a matchup that Jeff Horton, the offensive coordinator for the Aztecs, really wants to get. Donnell Pumphrey in space against the linebacker. I tell you what, from what we've seen of Donnell Pumphrey, if he's one-on-one with a guy who's over 200 pounds, I think that win's going to go to the young man Pumphrey.
We had a chance to see Martez Waller on Thursday night against Fresno State, for Fresno State rather, another outstanding running back. 2 very different builds in terms of the guy, very physical. But Pumphrey has tried to add some weight to be physical as well. Smith pump fakes, nowhere to go now over the middle. The ball falls incomplete, intended for Daniel Brunskill.
And this all goes back to the first down play and going offsides. When you're going in reverse, now you make yourself one-dimensional, which is what the Aztecs did there. So credit USD for getting the defense off the field and getting another opportunity.
Let's go down to Shea, who has something on Miller. Shea?
Yeah, guys, Quade Miller, who just took that false start penalty. You know, he took over for Terry Poole, who's now drafted by the Seahawks in the 4th round. Coach Rocky Long says Miller struggled in the spring, but he did really well this fall. He's got great size, physical ability, but he's young. He needs those reps. He needs to limit those mistakes.
And that's the thing. You talk about that experience. I mean, he is a
False
junior.
start, offense, number 26, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
2 offsides here in the same series. And I can tell you, if you're Rocky Long, he is not excited about that.
Well, that's the thing that makes coaches toss and turn.
It really does, because these are mistakes that you thought you corrected in practice. You shouldn't be going through this right now.
All right, so Tanner Blaine is going to line up and try to punt this one away cleanly. No flags on this one. Blaine, the junior college transfer, making his first punt as an Aztec, and a fair catch there at the 35-yard line by Trevor Barney. So now an opportunity here for the Toreros, and really what is starting to get their field position at least is getting a little bit better as they approach midfield.
It's
here.
moving up some.
Yes.
It's inching up ever so slightly.
As they get now definitely into that twilight of the shadows here being cast at Qualcomm Stadium from the upper deck and the light stanchions. So 2 backs, and out of the shotgun is Wheeler. Play action, and his pass is batted down, and a great effort there defensively here for Alex Barrett, the junior defensive end.
Yeah, Barrett makes a nice play here on the ball. And the Aztecs are expecting a lot out of him. He's on the Lombardi Award watch list for the best defensive lineman. Just goes to show you what kind of season he has and what their expectations are for the Big D tackle.
And we just saw the jersey of Jake Feely, healthy and 100%. I'm sure we'll talk more about him as this game goes on. And a number of black jerseys and red hats right there converging and making the tackle, led by Calvin Munson. Dallas Kessman, the ball carrier.
It's all about trying to set the tone right now. It's still very early in the game. Both teams sort of stalemated in their offenses, trying to get things rolling here. So for USD, I mean, I know we're just now seeing Trey Wheeler, sort of his first start in his career, but it's going to be, at some point in time, they're going to have to let him start to air it out a little bit so he can get his confidence up.
So a big 3rd down and 10 here for the Toreros. Wheeler has to roll to his right, and is just going to throw this one out of bounds. So San Diego will have to punt it away.
So when you think about it, from what USD has done, the first series we saw the interception and then it got returned for a touchdown. And then we see 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs. So they're not moving the football at all. And we talk a lot about Rocky Long and what the defense of the Aztecs is able to do. USD has got to try to find something. They got to try to find something here, because right now they're not moving the football at all. And it could be a long day if the Aztecs get started.
So Ryan Belden back to punt again here for San Diego. And making the catch is DeMonte Casey on the 34-yard punt, and a flag is down. Well, it's just going to be a timeout on the field. So we will step aside. The Aztecs with the football when we return. A 7-0 lead over the Toreros. Calvin Munson's 19-yard interception return for a touchdown. The difference in this game, opening with the 7-0 lead for the Aztecs here, as they now are back on the field after the fair catch on the punt from DeMonte Casey. And the pitch back here to Pumphrey around the left side, has room across the 40, and a 1st down for San Diego State.
For the Aztecs, this is exactly what they want. They want to get the ball in their star's hand. Watch Pumphrey here on the pitch. Cuts it right inside. Makes a few guys miss. He's the last person that you want to get rolling. The last thing you want is for this guy to start feeling it out there.
Well, a 21-yard pickup. This is Pumphrey again around the left side. Shifty as he gets out of bounds at the 45, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 7 on the 3-yard carry.
You know, for USD defensively, they really want to try to see how you can contain this guy. You know you can't stop him because of his ability, but how can you contain him? And the thing that you don't like to see there for USD is that edge. The edge collapsed there, and Pumphrey was able to get to the edge. If he does that a few more times, I can tell you he's going to take it to the house. You got to stop the edge.
Smith to his right, and he's intercepted. That one is picked off by Jamal Agnew. Agnew comes up with the INT, so these two teams exchanging interceptions.
Well, sometimes all it takes is a turnover to really get you fired up here. But this is because Maxwell Smith's receiver falls down. Number 5, Chase Favreau, he falls down right before the ball gets there, which allows Jamal Agnew to step up and pick it off. That's a big turnover, and it puts USD in nice territory. Try to see about getting some things going.
Well, Smith on the interception, and now it is the Toreros back out there. So Trey Wheeler now, and the Toreros try to go to work here near midfield. This is Hodges out of the backfield, and he kind of buries his head down. It's going to be a pickup of 3. Bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, this is all about trying to gain confidence for USD. You understand that for them, this is a big atmosphere. It's something that they're not necessarily used to. They want to get a little bit of confidence going, and that interception by Agnew might be the key that unlocks the door.
Oh, now a little bit of a wildcat here and a direct snap. And that's Kessman who takes it and charges ahead. He's just shy of the 1st down marker down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the redshirt senior getting an opportunity to make things happen on the ground.
Actually, that's Jarick Armstrong in the backfield, number 30 for the Toreros. And that's something positive, though, on 1st and 2nd down to be able to get the yards. Now you got 3rd and short.
Offsides, number 12. Defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
So they got Malik Smith. 3 penalties for 15 yards now for San Diego State.
A little antsy on the edge there. It was a call blitz. Smith comes down. But now you're in 2nd and manageable here. We talked a lot about Jonah Hodges, the running back. I feel like this is his territory right here to get 2 yards.
You've got to be able to make this play to win football games, and a tough one here. So he's shifty as he gets to the 40-yard line, but he's going to be stacked up and short. So it'll bring a 3rd down and 1.
You know, I also wonder right now if this is the time for USD to take a shot here. 3rd down.
Try to go over the top.
Try to go over the top here. You got nothing to lose if you're USD right now. You're trying to get back in this ball game.
So Wheeler with the handoff, and that is going to be good for a 1st down for the Toreros as they move the chains. And Shay had a chance to listen in to some of the talk on the sideline. Shay, what do you have?
Yeah, guys, I went over to San Diego's sideline right before that interception was thrown, and basically the conversation was stick to the game plan, slow down, relax. However, this is a lot faster than they're used to seeing things done. So they just said they need to just relax, stick to their game plan and what they know best. And then sure enough, look what happened. They turned the ball over. So that was exciting for them.
Yeah, it is interesting. And Shay, we talked to Rocky Long yesterday about they practice that thud philosophy here in terms of training camp where they don't tackle guys, but Coach Long sometimes doesn't like it. You don't tackle and play with the physicality that you normally would.
Yeah, both coaches like that.
Yeah, a little flea flicker here downfield. It's going to be intercepted and brought back. Oh, almost let's see the foot near the goal line there. It's going to be stopped at the 1-yard line, and it's DeMonte Casey, Casey with the interception, the junior cornerback, who comes up with the interception.
You know, we just saw the trickery that USD tried with the direct snap, and then this time they get gutsy and do a flea flicker type pass, but DeMonte Casey not fooled at all.
Now Casey with the interception there. A little trickery there from the Toreros.
Didn't work.
Aztecs with the football when we come back. 7-0 here in the 1st quarter from San Diego. The Aztecs with the lead here. Right now on CampusInsiders.com, watch Seth Davis's interview with Nick Saban. Here with the Alabama coach thinks of the whole Deflategate mess, coaching in the pros and staying motivated every year. It's the Seth Davis Show, only on CampusInsiders.com.
Oh, the Deflategate.
Yeah.
You think they checked the balls here today?
I think that opened everybody's eyes up to that, didn't it?
I would not be surprised if all around the country in college football and in the National Football League, there's this big emphasis on ball pressure.
Yeah. You know, we had Sed Bonner, who, of course, quarterback for years.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the booth with me at Fresno State. That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
I should have asked him about that. I didn't want to quite put him on the spot on the air.
He's a big man. Now, Sed is a big man. I'm sure that ball was small in his hands. So if he took some air out of that, throw a little marbles, man.
Yeah, Sed, we enjoyed watching Fresno State the other night. It's going to be a competitive year in the Mountain West Conference in this division. And as Maxwell Smith with the handoff to Pumphrey out of the backfield.
And Maxwell Smith, you know, we talked about him, the transfer from Kentucky. He played in the SEC, which really says a lot because the SEC is such a dominant conference here. As we get a look at Pumphrey running up the middle. But Maxwell Smith, we got to get him started too. He's another guy who needs to get some confidence going early in this game.
Well, correction, that is actually Chase Price in the game as he gets his second carry there. Price coming out and charging ahead. A little bit of the back to the end zone, maybe providing a little bit of extra push out of the backfield.
Trying to get some space, really trying to make it a third down and short, which is what they achieved. This keeps the offense on pace. You get a couple yards on first down, do the same on second. All you're trying to do is set up a third and short, put yourself in position.
With the help of Pumphrey, San Diego State ran for over 2,800 yards last year, the second most in program history. And again, charging ahead out of the backfield and tackled by Jamal Newman on the stop is Price once again. So first down.
Yeah, this is the definition of really trying to set the tone. We mentioned it at the top of what the Aztecs are looking to do. 3 straight runs, and they got 10 yards, which was enough for a first down. So that's really imposing your will on the other team to say, you know what, we're going to run it 3 times and really try to set the tone here to let you know we are coming at you.
Well, the big fullback, Dakota Gordon, stands behind Smith. Now it's going to be Gordon's turn, voted a captain by his teammates and tripped up at the 20-yard line. Colton Georgie among those on the tackle there of Gordon, who was elected, as I mentioned, as a team captain. And pretty remarkable considering this is just his second year in the program. That says a lot about what his teammates think of him.
Yeah, he transferred from Fresno City College, so you love to see the guy get out there and get some play, but he's really earned the respect of his teammates to be named the captain on this team.
He is a big part of this blocking scheme here as he leads Chase Price, who breaks free across the 30. He's got a first down and still on his feet before being dropped at the 39-yard line. So the Aztecs got something going here in the running game with a change of pace there with Chase Price.
Yeah, this is, again, 5 straight called runs, and it all starts with the guy we just mentioned, Dakota Gordon. He's 46. He gets right up there on the backer, leaves a space open for Chase Price to do what he does best and get the ball upfield. 5 straight call runs. You know it's coming. Can you stop it? That's what the Aztecs are asking USD right now.
And that's interesting you mentioned that, because that's what Rocky Long said. The key is to be able to run even when everyone knows you're going to run the football. And they continue to pound it up the middle here, and a gain of 3 on that run. So bring up second down and 7.
It has been 4 plays straight, and now we're finally seeing Pumphrey go back in. But you like that change of pace. You keep the guy fresh. And that's really what it's all about, especially early on while you get the legs moving in week 1.
And as a former running back yourself, to run the ball as much as Price did right here, starting really out of their own end zone, it's time to get him out of there, right? The legs have got to be a little sore. Smith trying to go deep down top, over top rather, and it falls incomplete. Jamon Hazley, the intended receiver.
Yeah, you talk about guys needing to blow after you've had 5 or 6 straight runs. You get tired out there,
well,
right?
Right, and most of those are right up the middle, as opposed to, it seems like Pumphrey likes to be shifty and try to go east and west a little bit more.
Yeah, and sometimes as a back, you even get a little more tired when you're carrying defenders and moving forward like Chase Price does. So his style merits a rest after about 4 or 5 carries.
Smith back to pass. The blitz is coming, and his pass is caught and complete there. As William Moore comes up with the tackle, Micah Holder with his first grab of the afternoon.
You like to see Maxwell Smith get an opportunity to air it out a little bit. What also does is keep the defense off balance. Smith here looks right to his right and gets rid of the ball on time, right as the wide receiver's coming out of the break. Nice catch by Micah Holder.
13-yard pickup, and now in Toreros territory. Pumphrey on the pitch around the right side. Plenty of room, a stiff arm. A first down before going out of bounds at the 35. So another big pickup here for Donnell Pumphrey.
Yeah, they're really keeping the defense off balance here with Pumphrey on the outside and Chase Price in the interior. But this is a sweep here. I mentioned the edge earlier. Look at how the edge is just walled off by the Aztecs. That's an excellent job by the offensive line. Springs their running back, their star running back, for 12 yards. It's incredible.
So now 1st and 10 from the 35. It seems as though San Diego State has settled into the running game here. Pumphrey to the right side, finds a hole, breaks free of a tackle, and just getting a shoestring at the last minute. Colton Georgie saving a touchdown run.
Yeah, you talk about finding a hole here. I'm starting to get a little pumped up. I'm trying to sort of manage my expectations here, seeing a running back get loose, but watch this jump cut here, and then makes the guy miss, and the balance to keep going. I tell you, this kid is good. He's one of the best in the country for a reason. You're getting a chance to see it here today.
Well, another 1st down as the Aztecs continue to move the chains. Smith fakes the pitch. Pass is complete. Gordon sidesteps a man and spins at the 10 and dropped at the 5-yard line is Dakota Gordon. An 18-yard pickup.
You have to keep the defense off balance, which is what the Aztecs are doing. They're running outside, they're running inside, and then they're faking it with the play action, which leaves a guy like Dakota Gordon wide open in space here. Look at the big man showing the balance too. He's been watching all that Pumphrey film.
The locks flowing out of those red helmets and the black uniforms.
I say give him the ball, let him get in the end zone.
Pumphrey, left side, has the edge. Touchdown Aztecs. Donnell Pumphrey takes it into the end zone, and it's 13-0 San Diego State.
The Aztecs are starting to get rolling. Talk about number 19, Donnell Pumphrey. You got to give credit to the offensive line again for getting to the edge. And for USD, listen, you don't want this to get out of hand because it can get out of hand fast.
Yeah.
If you keep having these 3 and outs, as USD has had on offense, this thing could get out of hand quick.
Hagman on for the extra point. And right down the middle, 14-0 San Diego State with the lead. Donnell Pumphrey, and a tip of the hat to his backfield mate and Chase Price, who helped get him going on that drive. San Diego State on top by 2 scores.
We'll get a shot at Donnell Pumphrey here, taking it to the house. Now, corners on defense are taught you can't let a play get outside of you no matter what. Number 28, Ray Clark here, he allows the play to get outside of him because of that edge, but you got to credit the offensive line for shielding it off. Watch Clark at 28 here. Just doesn't get there, which allows Pumphrey to do what he does best and take it to the house.
Pumphrey, 6 carries, 43 yards in this one, and the touchdown. And the man, as we mentioned before we head to the break there, Chase Price, a big part of starting that drive that culminated in the Pumphrey touchdown.
Two-headed horse. It works.
Bringing out the kick here for the Toreros is Brian Riley. And Riley is chased out of bounds, so the Toreros offense will come out and set up at the 27-yard line.
Now, this game is not out of reach for USD. It's not over yet. So hopefully they're not checking out of this game after only being down 14 points. They need a methodical drive now. Take time off the clock and control the football.
Shay, what do you got downstairs?
Yeah, guys, when I did go over and talk to that sideline, one of their coaches told me they're just trying to keep morale up, keep their confidence up. But I noticed during that last time out, it was Brian Riley that was jumping up and down and getting these guys going, kind of saying, just give me the ball. Let me take care of this, guys. Let's get some stuff going here, trying to keep the morale up on the San Diego sideline.
Well, it's a lot for one guy to put on his shoulders, though, isn't it?
But it's nice that he's stepping up. And again, Brian Riley, the converted defensive back, so he has that defensive mentality, which makes him a little more aggressive than most wide receivers. But you like to see that. Hey, I say give him a ball. If a guy's calling for it, throw it to him. Give him a chance.
San Diego has just 13 yards on offense. The Aztecs with 113. Wheeler throwing to his left. Pass is caught, and still on his feet is Hodges. Hodges with a first down across midfield before he stopped at the 47. A 24-yard gain.
Now, this is an excellent job by Trey Wheeler here. The Aztecs do what they typically do on defense and dialed up a blitz as you get a shot at this. Look at the crossing backers there. Wheeler gets the ball out of his hands because he recognizes the blitz and gets it to his playmaker, who makes a nice play. And that's what you're talking about. You're trying to build a little bit of momentum here. You don't need touchdowns, you need first downs.
Well, Hodges being thrown to out of the backfield shouldn't be a big surprise. He had 20 grabs for 154 yards a year ago. This time carries to that right side, a gain of about 3 yards on the play.
They're trying to mix it up too with the two different backs as we got a shot of number 20, Dallas Kessman, in there running the football. So USD trying to get some momentum and get some things going on offense. Again, I mentioned this last time when they got to midfield. This wouldn't be the worst time to take a shot. You're down 14, air it out and see what happens, especially with Riley out there calling for the ball.
Well, let's see what they decide to do here on second down as Kessman stays out on the field. As Trevor Barney was the man in motion coming in the near side as a flag.
False start, 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So Luke Meyer there. For 74, the redshirt sophomore.
So they'll move it back a couple of yards here as Chris Campano checks in to the backfield along with Jonah Hodges as Kessman goes off to the sideline.
Those are drive derailers, man. Penalties are drive derailers. It takes the air out of that balloon.
Well, especially after the big pickup by Hodges a few moments ago. Wheeler to pass, dumps it to Hodges. Nice one-hand grab behind him, and he's able to maybe pick up a couple there. But it's going to end up being actually a couple yards lost as Trey Lomax on the coverage. A good job by the sophomore.
Well, this is what the Aztecs do best, and that's fly around to the football. There's so much team speed on this defense. One of the reasons why they're one of the best in the Mountain West Conference defensively, because their guys fly around to the football.
So as time expires here, that's going to be the final play of the quarter here on that loss. So when we return, the Toreros with a big third down opportunity here that they'd like to convert, trailing 14-0. We're through one quarter of play here in San Diego. Back here at Qualcomm Stadium, San Diego State on top 14-0. Third down here and long as Wheeler goes over the middle. Pass is batted down and nearly intercepted. As Randy Ricks on the coverage there for San Diego State.
Yeah, this is why that 3-3-5 is so good, because it causes confusion at the line of scrimmage. That time they had six or seven guys all standing up. You had no idea who was going to rush and who was going to drop into coverage. That's how that one almost got picked off over the middle. But you talk about a stalled drive here for USD. All started with the penalty.
Yeah, they had some good momentum on the play from Hodges out of the backfield, a pass play. London's punt gets away cleanly. It's DeMonte Casey with the fair catch. And that's where San Diego State will come out at the 14-yard line, a 36-yard punt from Belden. And Donnell Pumphrey has been as advertised so far. Again, a little spark from Chase Price out of the backfield, but Pumphrey's been all the rage here for the Aztecs.
Yeah, man, you love to see number 19 get the ball. I mean, he's jump cutting. We talked about how explosive he is. And when you look at the numbers, this touchdown right here made number 29 in terms of his career. So he is really doing a lot for this ball club.
Well, Chase Price back into the football game. It worked the last time. And he was just taken down by the shoestrings there.
Yeah, they like this changeup because he's a little bit bigger than Pumphrey is. Chase is 5'8", he's 200 pounds, so he's a little wider and heavier than Pumphrey is.
Yeah, Shay, you've got some more on Chase Price.
Yeah, you guys, he comes from an athlete-rich family. His dad played at Utah, was drafted. His uncle, Lenny Randall, played professional baseball. His cousin is a former UCLA Bruin. His other cousin, Daryl Smith, played professional football. So an athlete-rich family in Chase Price. He was also recruited by the likes of Oregon and Utah. So some Pac-12 love was for Chase Price early on.
Well, he's been very durable for sure, Shay.
Yes.
And I mean, 866 career yards. I mean, this, you know, you have to have a durable, solid guy to go to.
Sure.
And Chase Price has, I think, been just the change of pace they've been hoping for.
The change of pace and then short yardage as well. All good things when you can have two different backs who do two things differently.
He's trying to soften that defense up for Donnell Pumphrey, who's trying to squirt free, but a host of Toreros bring him down there. Max Michaels among the San Diego defensive players to bring Pumphrey down for the loss.
Now that'll get you fired up if you're USD. Watch number 43, Nick Henson here. He comes in and lays the wood on Pumphrey. Doesn't get him down, but he's responsible for that in the beginning. And then the cavalry comes and makes the stop. Good job, USD.
Yeah, Nick Henson leading the charge there.
That was a big third down stop for USD.
Tanner Blaine set to punt it away. Trevor Barney, the deep man here for San Diego, and he's got to drift back. It's going to go over his head and take a San Diego State bounce inside the 20, and finally down there at the 17-yard line. It's going to go for a 62-yard punt for the transfer from El Camino College. He began his career at Kentucky, doing it here for the Aztecs and making it difficult, hitting the Toreros deep as they trail 14-0. $14-0 is our score. San Diego State, strike up the band. The Aztecs with the early two scores here in the opening quarter, as we're in the quarter number 2 now with 12:48 to go. San Diego with the football after the 62-yard punt from Tanner Blaine.
That guy's a weapon. Talk about a field position change.
It was a good one, wasn't it? And here's the handoff to the second man through, Dallas Kessman in the football game to start this offensive drive for the Toreros.
Would love to see them, for USD, I'd love to see them get Trey Wheeler more involved in this passing game, start throwing the ball some. You got to give him a chance to build a little bit of confidence. He had the one nice pass to Hodges that went for some good yards. You want to get him rolling. Because, again, this game is not over. I know somehow it feels like this game is over.
Yeah.
But they're only down 2 scores.
It's
still
trying
very much in this ball game.
Right, trying to figure some things out, it seems like, still, as try to get some positive yards. Derek Armstrong in the game now. Armstrong takes the handoff and dives ahead and may have picked up a couple of on the play. So we're inside 12 minutes here of the second quarter. An interception. That's how the first drive ended, unfortunately, for San Diego. Calvin Munson taking his 5th career interception into the end zone for the first score of the game. You see the total yards. San Diego with just 40 total yards compared to 124 for the Aztecs offensively here.
A little lopsided.
It is a little bit, and they need to try to get some more positive momentum here. Wheeler to his right. Throws, and the pass is incomplete. And Naeem McGee over there on the coverage for San Diego State.
You know, for USD, at some point, someone's going to have to step up and try to make a play to give this offense some life. Offensively, they're very stale right now. You don't see guys with their energy up. You don't see guys rah-rahing and really trying to corral the group to get together. So some leaders got to step up in the huddle to get them mentally into the game, because it seems like right now they're starting to check out, even though they're only down 2 scores.
Yeah. Ryan Belden on now to punt it away for the Toreros. He's standing at his own 4 is where he starts. An end-over-end kick that's going to go out of bounds near midfield. See where the officials spot it, where they said it went out at the 49-yard line. So that's where the Aztecs offense will come out. And I think this is a good opportunity here to talk about some of the coaching changes that were made. Really just one coaching change for San Diego State. Their offensive coordinator, veteran coach Bob Toledo, retired at the end of last season.
Yeah.
And Rocky Long decided to promote from within And that's one thing that he talked to us yesterday in the meeting about. One of the keys to their success here in recent years has been the continuity, and they did that. They moved Jeff Horton and advanced him up to the offensive coordinator position.
Yeah, he was a running back coach beforehand, and now he's got double duty here, OC and running back.
Maxwell Smith's pass in and out of the hands of Dakota Gordon.
And that's what you love really about the Aztecs, is they're really a inner circle family style of team. You know, they promote within, they really look out for their own. So the fact that Jeff Horton gets this job and this opportunity once another coach left is what's incredible. And they also hired Hunky Cooper, new wide receiver coach.
Yeah, Shay, it's just been part of, again, that continuity and keeping that same voice for these players to hear.
Yeah, not only that, but I feel like both of these coaches, Dale Lindsey and Rocky Long, agree that they have to have trust in their coaches for all aspects. Like Coach Lindsey says, the one thing he's brought over from coaching in the NFL is organization and delegating responsibilities, having a lot of trust in his coaches. And Ray, as you and I know, Rocky Long literally removes himself from all the play calling on the offensive side of the ball, being that he is the defensive coordinator. So he says he has complete trust in his offensive coordinator. He literally does everything for him.
Yeah, and he told us too, Shay, yesterday about kind of trying to simplify. That was kind of the task that he gave Jeff Horton, right?
Yeah, make it easier.
Yeah.
They just want to do fewer things really well as opposed to a lot of things good or mediocre. So they try to simplify things. Smith's pass, rather, is incomplete. Some contact there, but no flag. Michael Holder, the intended receiver. So now San Diego State will have to punt it away.
Seems like some of the lack of energy is sort of making its way into San Diego State's offense. You know, again, you don't see the guys really amped up and excited as you would. I mean, it's 10 minutes left in the second quarter. There's so much football left. And you don't really feel the excitement for either team offensively right now.
Yeah, this crowd taking a little bit of time to warm up too, right? And it's a punt here that's going to roll out of the back of the end zone, off the foot of Tanner Blaine. And so with the score 14-0, the Toreros are going to have the ball back when we return. 10-16 remaining here in quarter number 2. Staying on top of San Diego, 14-0 here in the second quarter. This Tuesday at 7 o'clock on CampusInsiders.com. Join us for Inside the College Football Playoff Rankings, a half-hour show dedicated to the ins and outs of the sport, including our exclusive fan poll, which teams are trending in which direction, and a look ahead to next weekend's matchups. It's only on CampusInsiders.com. Shea Pepler, the talented host, and we'll get a chance, hopefully, as the game progresses, to talk a little bit more, let her share her thoughts on that show. And we're excited to be a part of the College Football Playoff, year 2.
Yep, yes, sir.
And still some debate. We thought that it would end the debate by putting it in the hands of committee, and there was still some debate last season.
Still some questions. There are always questions, that's for sure. We talk about an exciting game that is college football.
It is opening weekend. Some big games on Thursday night. A couple of stunners today as well. This is Kessman out of the backfield going to the right side.
You know, so much about your offense is really predicated on, you know, your quarterback and what he does. And when he's not in rhythm, that's where some of that staleness comes from. So if you look at Trey Wheeler's numbers, right now he's 2 of 8 for 22 yards and an interception. So that's about as stale as you can get as a starting quarterback for this team. So he's got to pick it up, and they have to give him opportunities, whether it's short passes to try to start getting his confidence going a little bit. But once his rhythm gets on, that's how you move the ball. But right now they're not. As you get the numbers, they're 1 of 5 in third down conversions.
Well, they've got Armstrong back out there at tailback, and now a whistle.
Delay a game. Number 12, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And again, this is on the quarterback. You have to know the timing. You have to be able to get the offensive unit to the line quick enough and call the play before the clock runs out. Now, a lot of this is experience, and Trey Wheeler's getting that on the fly here as we see today, but you put yourself into a 3rd and long now from a 3rd and manageable. And that's how those numbers keep skewing to where they're not having third down efficiency because they keep putting themselves in bad position.
And here they are again, deep in their own territory too. And Wheeler coming up top. And the pass is intercepted. An interception there, and it's going to be Casey with his second of the night.
2 picks for Casey. Now, wonder he's on the Thorpe Watch List Award for the best corner in the country, number 23. Now, we mentioned Riley calling for the football. That's what this is. He's like, throw it to me. This is a jump ball here. We wish you would have got a better ball from your quarterback in Trey Wheeler, but credit to Monte Casey for coming up with his second interception for the game. And Shay, Casey is having another lights-out performance.
You guys, I just saw Casey and Whitaker have the most epic handshake I've ever seen over here on these sidelines. There was a jump, a twist, a booty bounce, a handshake, a shimmy. It was impressive, I will say.
Nice.
Okay, so then that means that Ray and I got to come up with something. We have to do something.
The pressure's on. The pressure's on, guys.
I don't know if I'm that coordinated to do all that. I might land and hurt something. So here comes San Diego State now back out on the football field with their offense. And Chase Price back out there at tailback with the run to the right side. Picks up 3 on the play.
We're seeing Price get a lot of time here today. And one of the reasons I think that is because the game is kind of slow moving right now. And San Diego State feels like they got a nice lead and they're comfortable. So it's rest your star. It's a long season. It's week 1. Let Chase Price do his thing because he has been running the rock really well today.
Well, look, there is a part of this, and we've talked about before we made our trip to the stadium here tonight, is Price again to the right side, still on his feet, breaking tackles, first down and more at the 30, puts his head down before being knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Because San Diego is, let's take a look at this one more time.
Yeah, you see Price here, but this is all winning up front and then making a guy miss. Wide receivers getting involved. You saw 85 there, Michael Holder come in and make a play. That's what you like to see. The unit working together. That's how you had that success right there. Good run by Chase Price.
And a first down at the 29-yard line. Price again tries to go up the middle and bounces it to the outside. A flag comes in.
Boy, this is going to be on Pierce Slater, 71, the right tackle here. He's a veteran, started 13 games for the Aztecs last year, but he gets caught holding here.
Holding, number 71, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So they'll move this back. And getting back to the point I was going to make, because San Diego is a non-scholarship Division I program, because of that, this game in terms of bowl purposes does not count. San Diego State still needs to win 6 more games.
Yeah, in many ways you ask yourself what's kind of the point, because a win here, it's great for your team, but it doesn't do anything for you from a bowl perspective.
So as a head coach of Rocky Long, knowing you got the grind of the season and games that, as Smith goes up top, looking at the end zone, incomplete. Oh, and a great effort there. Jamal Agnew on the coverage. Micah Holder could not come down with it, keep a foot in bounds.
But flags down as well.
A couple?
All is here, It's 3 flags down.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 75, offense. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 96, defense. Those penalties will offset. Replay, first down.
Well, they get Quade Miller on the holding there, the left tackle. Remember, he was the guy who jumped off sides earlier on in the game. And then on the flip side, Joe Noelny is caught for roughing the passer here. Getting a little chippy here for
it is, and
second quarter with 7 minutes left.
And you don't want, with so much time left, to make those kind of frustrated mistakes. Gordon out of the backfield, he dives ahead for a gain of about 1 on the play.
This is a big fullback there.
Yeah, this is kind of a last-minute fill-in game that they tried to fill the schedule with. It was announced just in the spring that they put these 2 teams together. We mentioned just the second time ever these 2 programs have met in football.
Well, the big problem, too, is, not only does this game not mean much from a bowl perspective for San Diego State, but God forbid someone get injured.
Right. Yep. And it goes back to your original point, managing the game, getting some people in there, resting Pumphrey as Smith goes down over the middle again. And he's looking for Pumphrey out of the backfield.
Speaking of.
Yeah. Ray Clark on the coverage.
But yes, you want to keep your team healthy, but you still want to win this football game. So it's a dynamic balance right now for Rocky Long and his staff. And how aggressive can you be in a game like this week 1?
Quade Miller's first collegiate start. Up front, making a big difference. And Maxwell Smith is Coach Horton and that offensive side of the football trying to let him cut it loose a little bit downfield. Smith again on the right side. This one is caught and complete. Eric Judge on the catch.
This is an excellent route by Judge, but you got to credit Maxwell Smith with the timing. He literally hits Judge right as he's coming out his break. That's what you want to see there, but that's how you get your quarterback going. Let him air it out a little bit. Give the guy some confidence. He's a veteran. Played in the SEC at Kentucky, so he's got the tools.
Well, a 19-yard gain and a first down brings up 1st and 10. Rocky Long, let's see if they can put a smile on his face here from the 18. And
you think he ever smiles at it?
I don't know.
Timeout.
Maybe when the game's over and the W's in the win column.
Immediate timeout.
Right before he puts the game tape in to watch it. Right?
Exactly. Always improving this guy.
14-0 Aztecs back in the morning.
All training camp, there's been a QB competition between Maxwell Smith and Christian Chapman, but here's a veteran move right here. It's a timing route with Eric Judge right on the money as he comes out of that break. I mean, the defender has no shot. Devin Bryant was there, but it just threaded the needle so well. Love to see that from your QB.
Well, Smith going for the end zone there and falls incomplete. Just a few beats ahead of David Wells, the tight end. But you get a sense, though, that they're seeing some matchups that they like.
They do. Yeah, they really do. And it all starts with the quarterback being able to recognize that. And one of the reasons, as Coach Long told us, that Maxwell Smith won the starting job is because of that experience that he had at Kentucky and in the SEC. He's seen it, done it before.
And how about the confidence in him to let him throw on first down here. Now the handoff to Pumphrey, who puts a couple hands on it and tries to dive ahead. So a 2-yard pickup here for Pumphrey out of the backfield. Preseason All Mountain West first team. Maxwell Doak Walker watch list. 1,867 yards for Pumphrey last year and 20 touchdowns. Single season record here at San Diego State.
And that's saying something when you think about the running backs that this university has had.
No question.
Ronnie Hillman to Adam Uema, Marshall Falk.
Yeah. Pretty good group there.
Yeah, pretty good group of backs.
And the pass to Judge is incomplete. Devin Bryant on the coverage.
Bryant's been in position the last 2 passes on Judge. Let's get a look at him there, the junior. He's 5'11", 185 pounds. He's also a really good guy off the field, Ray. Nominated for the All-State Good Works Award, given to community service. So he's a good guy.
There you go. Currently an 8-play, 36-yard drive. Hagman on. The 34-yard field goal. Kick is on its way, and it's good. And tack on 3 more here for the Aztecs to make it a 17-0 lead. So Hagman last year 20 of 25 for field goals, has a couple of extra points and a field goal to add to it. 17-zip Aztecs. State adds to their lead, now up 17-0 on the 9-play 36-yard drive that resulted in the Donnie Hagman 33-yard field goal. His first of the year after a couple of extra points. Defense really coming to play here tonight for the Aztecs. The first career 2-interception game already for DeMonte Casey from San Diego State. And Calvin Munson started everything off with a 19-yard interception return for a touchdown that put the Aztecs on the board. Low kick from here from Hagman, as it's going to go out of bounds.
Looks like there's another flag here.
Free kick, out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
So there you get a look at. So there you see Hagman
having to explain himself.
Yeah, talking to, and look who he's talking to, Bobby Houck. We had a last couple of seasons. Good to see Bobby Houck back on the sideline coaching without a break. He was at UNLV, took them to the Rebels to a bowl game. Parted ways with them after last season, but found a way to get on the. And it looks like we got a catch and a fumble here. And Calvin Munson.
Wow. I mean, you're just grabbing
that
for life here
Yeah.
with your USD. And this goes to fullback number 23, Chris Campo. Now, he's a captain for this team as well, so you hate to see that happen. And his first sort of action there on the flat route. But, man, we need some kind of positivity.
Was a completed pass with a fumble covered by San Diego State. First down.
Sean Lomax here is down. Hopefully he's okay. You hate to see that.
Yeah.
We'll get Shea out there to update us in a second.
Well, Lomax part of this defense a year ago as a freshman. 63 tackles, the most for a freshman since Andrew Preston back in 2007. So
yeah, he's going to have a nice long career. Hopefully he's okay.
He gets up certainly favoring that right leg. Hometown guy. Boy, it's special for these guys. I know, Darius, you grew up in Georgia near Atlanta, played your college football at Notre Dame and the NFL, but it is special when you get a chance even to get close to home so people can, but to actually play in your hometown is a special thing.
Exactly, and especially at a place where you probably grew up going to watch the Chargers, at Qualcomm Stadium. So doesn't get more exciting for that for the hometown guy. Hopefully Lomax can get back out there and he's not too badly banged up.
Well, Smith on the pitch to Humphrey, stiff arms to the left, nothing there. Still on his feet as the white jerseys start to converge, and he's going to be dropped for a 3-yard loss. 4 turnovers in this game for the Toreros has resulted in all 17 points.
And you get a shot of Humphrey here trying to get to the outside, but finally you got to give USD credit for collapsing that edge and sealing the edge. Forces the back to have to go back inside. So I hope they can continue that to contain this electric player in Donnell Pumphrey.
Smith to his left, Pumphrey out of the backfield. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 35.
Yeah, the versatility of Donnell Pumphrey is just remarkable. Can catch the ball out of the backfield. They line him up in the slot sometimes as well, and will throw him the ball deep. Guy really has a bright future. Let's get a look at
good
Bryson
1-2
Pumphrey.
punch in the backfield.
Yeah, already over 100 yards between the two of them.
Humphrey with a big roam to run here as he finds a hole and is knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And another first down. Jamal Agnew chasing him out of bounds in the 14-yard carry.
Give him a crease and he is going to take it the distance. He is electric.
Aztecs quick to the line and the handoff to Pumphrey. See charges ahead to the right side, a gain of 2. Bring up second down and 8. And again, it looks like the Aztecs trying to keep this San Diego defense. Hop and throw for the end zone. And a jump ball falls out of bounds. Jamal Agnew on the coverage there, and Micah Holder.
That's a good job by Agnew being in position. He's number 26 on the outside here. You watch this ball come up. He just gets his paw in there just enough to disrupt the hands of Michael Holder. Good job. Sets up a big third down conversion here. For USD, you want to hold them to a field goal try. That would be a win for them on defense.
For certain. And that was the only thing really to stop the pace as the Aztecs are going to the line quickly. Now Smith again to the end zone, and the pass intended for Judge is incomplete. Agnew right there, and these defensive backs are getting a workout, aren't they?
They are. They're getting a chance to play a little chippy there too. But you got to give USD credit defensively. Another third down stop for them, forcing the Aztecs to a field goal try.
So Hagman on again. This one a 36-yard attempt. He's perfect so far tonight. He eyes the goalpost spot, and the hold is down. The kick on its way, and it's good. A 36-yard field goal from Donnie Hagman, and put 3 more on the board here for the Aztecs. Now 20-0, and again all the points coming off turnovers.
Yes, they are, and Hagman showing you why he is the guy for them. You mentioned the 20 field goals last year. He's also preseason Mountain West Player of the Year for special teams right now. They're thinking that he's going to have another incredible year, and he's done so far, going 2 for 2.
Yeah. And he's getting a little bit further on each one. So he's warming up into the season too.
Yes, he is, and we'll get a shot here. Agnew and Judge battling for the ball. Look at that.
Yeah,
just an excellent play there,
and a great look
both
too.
guys, and then just the sportsmanship to help the guy up.
For sure, yeah.
He's a better man than I am.
All right, Shay has an update on Lomax. Shay,
Guys, he's got a right leg injury. Trey Lomax will not return for the rest of the game.
All right, Shay, thanks very much. Again, an emerging player as a freshman a year ago.
Get a shot at him here. Yeah, he's expected to do big things in this program.
I mean, that is a good sight. He's got a little limp.
Walking,
now he needed help off the field, couldn't put any weight on it, so good to see weight on. But again, as we talked about, a long season for both of these teams.
Yes, it is.
I mean, if this was the last game and something big was on the line, very possibly could have stayed the ball game. But coming out of the end zone there is Armstrong. A nice return, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
You know, and I think that's the big worry for San Diego State in a game like this. Again, we mentioned it, a win here doesn't do anything for San Diego State in terms of their bowl eligibility. So when you get a guy knocked out, specifically one of your starters in Trey Lomax, that's the problem with playing a game of this caliber, because it can happen. But at the same time, you know, you got to win. You got to try to win the game. So what is that balance?
And we got a new quarterback now in the game here for San Diego. As looks like out of that Wildcat formation, Chris Wilson on the run.
Boy, there was another guy that wore 15 who was a running quarterback. Kind of makes you think of.
That's true. Well,
I know he just got released today, but
Chris Wilson, yeah, that's right.
Certainly looks similar to me.
So Wilson now out of the field here, running the thing at quarterback offensively here for the Toreros. As he puts his head down and drives forward.
Couple call runs there. Looks like that's enough for a first down.
And he's now going to come off the field. All right, and now here's Trey Wheeler coming back out.
Nice little change of pace there.
Sure.
Bring in a new quarterback, run a few called runs up the middle, and then give it back to Trey. Try to drive this thing down. It should be 2-minute offense here, though. We should see hurry up from USD.
Wheeler, the handoff, and nothing doing there by Kessman, Dallas Kessman. And once again, Calvin Munson in on the stop. Munson's put himself together quite an evening.
Yeah, he's playing really well, but you have to ask why USD is not in hurry up mode here. I mean, 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this game, and they're not in any kind of hurry to try to take the ball down the field. I mean, for me, it's all about confidence in your offense, you know. And if you're a player on this field right now, you're saying, man, Coach Lindsey may not necessarily, you know, believe in us to a certain extent. Wow. To really push this thing down.
Yeah, and there's still confusion. They've had players running on and off the field.
Timeout. University of San Diego, first of the half.
The play clock was winding
30
down.
seconds in length.
And so they decided to finally timeout. Let's talk about this thing before we take a penalty. With 58 seconds remaining. And
you know what happens sometimes in these instances is when you bring in a player like Chris Wilson, there's a package for him. What that means sometimes is there's certain players that come in with him. So when he came in a few plays ago, I think that's part of the reason why you're seeing some confusion, is because a few guys went in because they were in that package, and now the offense is no longer in that package. So there's a bit of confusion there. They had to burn a timeout. But again, I'm not really sure why USD is not in hurry-up mode here to try to get the ball at least in field goal range to try to get some points before halftime.
well, Tanner Engstrand, the offensive coordinator for San Diego, and he's been there a while. He's only 33 years old, but he's actually been on staff longer than anybody at USD in terms of the on-field coaches. Is the handoff here to Kessman as he drives to that left side.
Yeah,
the clock still runs. That's what you come out with out of the timeout.
It seems like they are comfortable being down 20 right now is really what it seems like. That they're just trying to get into halftime and live to fight another day, as they say.
Kessman, as you get a look at him coming off the field gingerly, played in 8 games a year ago, 88 carries, 320 yards. Was not able to get into the end zone.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
You do. He's been a part of the running game here in this one. So Wilson back out there again. This time he drives ahead, and I think they are going to just go ahead and take that, and San Diego State's going to call a timeout here.
Give themselves a shot.
Timeout. San Diego State, second of the half, 30 seconds in length.
We'll give them at least a one play, which you would assume would be a Hail Mary or something to try to get something going after the punt. But I'm really kind of shocked here, Ray. I don't, because conventional wisdom would say, you know, try to get it down there, throw the football, try to give yourselves an opportunity to put some kind of points on the board. I mean, you got a goose egg right now. Yeah. You need some momentum. Hurry up offense.
Well, perhaps playing the devil's advocate there, though, with the 4 turnovers and a couple of throws. Already had 1 pick six brought back tonight. Perhaps that they're a little concerned that that something could make it even worse, and then they may really feel like they're out of the ball game.
Yeah, understood. But I still try to go back to what Tony Dungy said. You play to win the game.
Yeah. That's hard to argue that philosophy. That's why we are all out here, right? So Casey is deep on the punt. He's going to make the fair catch call there at the 27-yard line. So it's going to be 7 seconds remaining. And what's your best guess here? One would think just take a knee and...
Yeah, you know, if you're San Diego State
right?
here, you're up 20 points right now. No reason to really push things. Just get in that victory formation. Let Trey Wheeler take the knee. And
well, Coach Rocky Long talked to us again about some change in philosophy on some calls, maybe going against standard coaching philosophy. This one, though, is not one he will go against. And he'll just give the football here to one of his tailbacks. And Chase Price will finish up the first half in the second quarter as the two teams will exit the field. We're through one half of play, and it's been all Aztecs in this one. As San Diego has turned the ball over 4 times in the game, a couple of interceptions. In this one from DeMonte Casey. Calvin Munson with an interception, returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, that really was what set the tone here San Diego State. That was on the first possession. Picked it off and took it to the house. So a lot of work, for the Toreros to do on the other side.
All right, let's go downstairs to Shea.
Coach, let's start with your defense. 4 turnovers in that first half. No points, holding them to under 100 yards. What were you impressed with?
Well, I thought the defense played okay. I'm disappointed in the way the offense is executing. We got to be able to throw and catch it better than we are because they're doing a nice job with the scheme, making it very difficult to run on them.
Yeah, you mentioned the offense. Well, Maxwell Smith, you were worried about him getting the rust off. What is your evaluation of him so far?
Well, I hope I see the rust off in the second half because he looked pretty rusty to me.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Rocky Long with very frank comments as we talk about corrosion.
Oh, wow. Probably get an earful.
Oh, Rocky Long. Who knows what's going to come out of that veteran coach's mouth in the locker room. His team's up 20-0. Be happy, Coach. San Diego State on top 20-0 as we're getting ready for the start of quarter number 3. Both teams have come back out from the locker room and hopefully re-energized in some way. Rocky Long, as he told our Shea Pepler, wants to see more from his quarterback Maxwell Smith. But we also anticipate seeing, as promised, Christian Chapman at some point coming out to play quarterback as well. Donnell Pumphrey with 64 yards in that first half, including a touchdown. That's now a score in 6 straight games dating back to last season.
Yeah, he's got 29 for his career, and you see why this guy is on the Maxwell Award watch list, why he's on the Doak Walker Award watch list, because he gets things done. But you got to credit his offensive line for opening up holes for him, specifically on the edge all day. And Donnell Pumphrey's on his way to another terrific afternoon.
As the coach is getting ready here to start quarter number 3, about 90 seconds to go here before we get things started. So you look at Rocky Long there. Darius, what do you think his message was? If there were 2 or 3 things, you thought he might have emphasized at halftime. What do you think?
Oh, man, you mean besides the choice words he had to his quarterback and about his quarterback? You know, I think the emphasis really is on internally saying that this is about San Diego State and them. They have to come out and play like they know they can, because they just quite frankly haven't done that yet. Outside of the 2 running backs and Donnell Pumphrey and Chase, that's pretty much it in terms of who's been playing really well so far tonight. So he probably had some choice words and expecting his team to play a lot better in the second half.
Well, Shea, what do you know about what Coach Lindsey told his team at halftime?
Yeah, I just talked to Coach Lindsey, and he basically said, Shea, we got to get stuff going on offense. We got to figure out a way to get some first downs. That's really the end of the story. He said when you give up a touchdown on the second play of the game, you're already in the hole. He's like, our defense has played okay. Our special teams has played okay. Really, the focus now is on offense and getting something going. I asked him what he thought about Trey Wheeler and his debut today, and he said he really hasn't been very good. He needs to be better for us to get something going on offense.
Yeah, Trey Wheeler has not lived up to expectations, going 3 of 10, 2 interceptions, 3 of 10 for 31 yards. So he's correct in saying that they've been stalled on offense. And that first down number, again, we talked about it at halftime. It's so key. They have 2 first downs the entire first half. 2.
It's hard to get anything going like that.
It's hard to put any kind of points on the board that way.
And keep your defense out there too, which we know as time goes on here in the second half, that will probably start to catch up to him. You saw Coach Lindsey down there, certainly a man who's been around the game of football a long, long time. 30 years of coaching experience, including stops in the NFL with 6 different teams, including right here in San Diego with the Chargers.
Yeah, what I'm always impressed when I think about Dale is his playing career. I mean, he was drafted in the 7th round, spent 8 years in the National Football League. Guy could ball back in the day.
Yeah, he sure could. Trey Wheeler warming up on the sideline, and his first half numbers stand for some improvement here in the second half. I think he would agree with that.
Definitely safe to say that.
And one of those completions was to Jonah Hodges.
But again, I think when we think back to Trey, you got to remember he was thrust into this position because of the transfer of Keith Williams. So he's a guy who's experienced in terms of he's been around the program for a while, but they expect him to play better.
So San Diego won the opening toss they received in the first half, so it will be the Aztecs who get the football here to open up quarter number 3. And bringing the football out and breaking free. And perhaps going to take this thing into the house is Rashad Penny. Penny will take it the distance. Touchdown San Diego State. And just like that, that's how things start here in quarter number 3 for the Aztecs.
Not good, but there is a flag down. I have to see what that is. But man, you talk about momentum and getting things going. Rashad Penny, he's a backup running back. That just goes to show you how explosive these running backs are at San Diego State. They can plug and play into these guys and they can make it happen.
Well, and you know how it is too for young players when you're down in that depth chart and you only have a couple of opportunities. Let's get the penalty here.
Personal foul, hands in the face, number 2, kicking team. That penalty will be carried over on the kickoff. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, how about that? Give Rashad Penny. Yeah, let's shoot off the fireworks here, the Ass. Now that it's official, right? Now that it's official.
And that's Ryan Riley, number 2. We talked about him, how he was calling for the ball. Shea heard that. He got hands in the face here. But check out Penny. He's just going to take this thing right up the middle of that seam. And it's a good job walling off by the return team. And then he's just got the speed to do the rest.
Well, a 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And Penny averaged 25 yards per kick return a year ago.
He's lobbying for some playing time in the backfield as well.
His first career touchdown on the kickoff return. So it's a good way to start things.
Not a bad first one to get.
Hegman's extra point is good. And you can add one more to the board. And as the frown gets a little bit longer on the face of Dale Lindsey.
You know, special teams is really a place where, you know, teams, if you're sort of out of your league in a way where you're playing against an opponent that you don't normally play against, that type of opponent, special teams is the place where you can kind of get a win and really give yourself an opportunity to be in the game. So the fact that, you know, not only have we seen stale offense out of USD the entire first half, it's now you make it even harder on yourself because you break down on special teams. And so to me, what the biggest question is going to be moving forward now is the morale of this team. Are the guys dejected, or have they checked out? You know, that's something that Shea will definitely take a look at for us to see what the morale is on the sidelines for USD. But that is just not a good way to start.
Guys, clear frustration is what I'm seeing over here on the sidelines. A lot of frowning faces.
Yeah. We saw Coach Lindsey was the first one with that frown, but it's hard not to frown being down 27-0.
Yeah, they certainly are. I'm still waiting for Rocky Long to crack a smile.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Well, we enjoyed spending our time with him, the veteran coach who was here as a defensive coordinator under Brady Hoke, and you know, there was some talk about, you know, when Hoke left, who might he take with him? Might he kind of disassemble and take with him some of the staff? And they had a sit down with Rocky Long as the return here is brought out to the 21-yard line for San Diego. But the athletic director sat down and convinced, you know, Rocky Long to, hey, you know, why don't you stay here? And some guys decided they wanted to stay with him.
Yeah.
And again, it's that continuity that has made the difference. When I asked the simple question, what's been the biggest thing that has led to the success here in recent years? And he said continuity. That was the first thing he said.
Yeah, it's all about the consistency for him. But, you know, when you look at his career, and especially at San Diego State, the last 7 years straight, he's been the defensive coordinator. Last 5 as head coach and defensive coordinator. But
well, he said, you know, when you have a sophomore, junior, senior who's heard the same message, they know the way the program's run. They know the Aztec way of doing it under the staff, and there's no mixed message. There's no real new message, no major shakeup. Certainly there was a little bit of a change at the offensive coordinator position, but the overall culture and theme and the message remains consistent. So Wheeler here with the handoff.
Monte Casey comes in with the stop here. We've already seen him collect 2 interceptions. Makes a nice hit there on the running back. But to continue to talk about Rocky Long and really what he's done with San Diego State. You just have to be impressed with his ability to be able to get guys in. And when you talk consistency, where that really has its impact is in recruiting. Guys know the same coaching staff is going to be around for an extended time. That's exciting for recruits to see.
Blake Martin now at running back. And another, let's see, interception. That's what the officials are going to call. Is that going to be another one for Casey?
It very well could be. Let's see what the officials say.
They're talking about it.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to give it to San Diego State.
That's number 3
Wow.
for DeMonte Casey.
Oh, are we going to see a smile?
Wait. Come on, Rocky.
Oh.
No.
Oh, it was pretty close. I don't know.
Wah.
That was pretty close.
He looked like he might have had a frown on his face that time. But you get a shot here. Watch the safety come in and just lay Trey Wheeler out. He paid for that one.
Oh.
And another INT for DeMonte
Casey
Casey.
comes away with it.
Now watch the hit. Watch him just take a shot.
And that is
Malik Smith, number 12, comes in and lays the wood on the quarterback. Man.
Fifth turnover in this game, and the 3 interceptions now by Casey, the most by any San Diego State player since 1969 in an opener. And so, boy, his night continues.
You know, you talk about your stars in games like this, beginning of the year, when you need to set the right tone. Your star has got to step up. We've seen Pumphrey do it for San Diego State, and we're definitely seeing DeMonte Casey do it on the defensive side.
And it's the first time that a player has had more than 2 interceptions since 2013, so it's been a couple of years. And out of the backfield is Pumphrey, and a penalty flag here right at the 50.
Yeah, it looks like they got Slater again. Here's Slater, number 71, at the right tackle position. Let the refs sort this out, but he's trying to set the edge every play.
There are 2 fouls, both by the offense. Illegal formation, more than 4 in the backfield. Offense, that penalty is declined. Holding, number 71. Offense, that penalty be accepted. 10 yards, still second down.
You know, now Pierce Slater is he's a captain on this team. Transferred from El Camino College a year ago. One of the consistent offensive linemen for them, and he's, again, supposed to set that edge. We've seen him hold twice. Not the best start for the big man.
Smith feeling the pressure, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Unless he's one of the Aztec players is down on the field here.
Looks like Slater.
Yeah, it is Slater getting up slowly.
Real ginger on that leg there.
See if he stays out there. See if we can pick it up here.
Get a shot at him. Looks like somebody might have came in late and clipped his legs.
From the opposite side?
Yeah, from the opposite side. Didn't see it coming. Those are always the worst ones, when you don't see it coming.
Well, Slater's going to stay out there. 3rd down. Smith. Pass. Is he in bounds? He is. Completed pass there to Micah Holder.
Yeah, Holder's sort of been the go-to target right now for Maxwell on the few completions that he has had. They've all been on those timing routes. He's hitting the receiver right out of the break. But this win goes to USD. Forcing a 4th down and a punting situation. So take it down to Shea.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we talked about Micah Holder a lot here. He's one of those sophomores that had taken over for a junior. Coach Rocky Long has been starting some of these younger receivers now in this offense, so it's just interesting to see him have such a big game here.
Well, it is, and I think that a lot of that is the fact that like he talked to us, Shea, you know, he did bypass some guys who had some starts, who had more game
Media
experience.
timeout.
Yeah, and when I asked him about that, saying, why did you choose a younger guy over a veteran, he just simply say, hey, it came down to performance. These younger guys were beating out the older guys. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
You got to earn it out there, man. Specifically in practice, you got to earn it.
27-0 Aztecs back with more from San Diego. Our score, San Diego State in firm control here with 12:04 remaining in quarter number 3, and we just had some tough news here for San Diego handed to us. Jonah Hodges, that talented running back, is out of the game with a fractured clavicle. So just 2 carries for Hodges tonight, and he's supposed to be a big part of this offense, and I'm sure he was really looking forward to this opener here tonight and having a big game, and it's an unfortunate way to end his night.
Yeah, you know, you talk about a guy who really thrives in the big games. This was really one where he wanted to come out and set a precedence this year. We talked about his numbers from a year ago, over 1,200 rushing yards last season, and set the school record for rushing yards in a game at 273. So that's a big loss for USD, and hopefully Jonah can come back quickly, but you hate to hear that week 1, especially with so much football left in the season.
Yeah, he had just 6 carries tonight, 2 catches, as Collins there with it around to the left side, or Wilson rather, Chris Wilson in the game, and now he'll come out.
I mean, is the resemblance to Tim Tebow with the Broncos wearing 15 not uncanny here? I mean, am I the only one?
Right. With the rib thing, the rib cage,
he's got the rib protector.
Yeah.
Every time he comes in, he runs the football like wristbands. Yeah, you know, it's wow.
Isn't that something?
That is something.
And now the San Diego State offense has gone over 200 yards in this game, while the Toreros are having a hard time moving the football as Wheeler goes down. Jordan Watson, among others, there in the black jerseys, bringing him down.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because that was a 3rd and short situation. They're trying to pick up the first down, and it was almost a fire drill at the quarterback. Of everybody got in on that one. So another 3 and out for USD offensively.
So Belden now will come out to punt this one away as the clock approaches 10 minutes to go here. 5 seconds on the play clock. And the punt is away, and fair caught at the 41-yard line by Casey. DeMonte Casey. His big night continues with those 3 interceptions, and the Aztecs in firm control, up 27-0. Back from San Diego in a moment. Quarter Aztecs in control of this one, 27-0, with an update on Toreros running back Jonah Hodges. Let's go down to Shea.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned that broken clavicle. He says he doesn't really know when it happened in the first half. He just came off the field and said something felt weird, something didn't feel right. So they took a look at it at halftime, and sure enough, a broken clavicle. So he's sitting over here on the sidelines in a sling, in a jacket, a hood on his head. And I asked coaches, what was his reaction to this news? And they said he's a pretty even-keeled guy. He really didn't have much to say, but I will tell you his face says it all. He looks extremely disappointed, as you can imagine.
Yeah, that's a tough way to end the night.
It really is.
And without having further examination, it's like you said, Darius, depending on the extent of the injury.
Yeah, he's on the bench. And I also asked the coaches and the trainer if they thought he could return even this season. And he said he thinks he'll be able to get back into the mix of things this season, but they need to evaluate it further.
Oh, good. Well, that is some good news. And certainly our thoughts with Jonah Hodges. And you read his bio. It's a young man. He's not shy. He's, you know, a lot of these guys have dreams of continuing their football career beyond college, and he made that statement. He says, you know, he hopes to have more football in him after his college days are done.
Well, certainly. You talk about a guy who just came on the scene last year, really emerged as the lead guy for the Toreros. Hate to hear that.
This is Pumphrey on 3rd down and 3, and he's going to be stacked up and stopped. Ray Clark on the tackle. As we're inside 9 minutes to go here in quarter number 3.
You know, it's kind of interesting that you still see Pumphrey in the game. Kind of wonder when at one point Rocky Long will say, you know what, there's a lot of football left. There's a lot of runway. Maybe I'll take my star back out. But again, I think he's trying to get some consistency on offense, play well, so you can set yourself up for momentum down with the rest of the season.
On the 4th tackle for loss, so some positives to take away from that drive for the Torero defense. And the punt hits at the 15 and starts to come back the other way. Bit of a bounce there for the Toreros, and it's spotted and down at the 16-yard line, where San Diego will come back out and try to get the offense moving downfield. Still looking for their first points in this game.
Yeah, they've had a tough go so far with even getting down towards the red zone. No consistency in any way. And you know, one of the things we haven't really touched upon is some of the losses for USD. We mentioned the quarterback in Keith Williams, but they also lost their 2 star receivers from a year ago, and Reggie Bell and Brandon White. So this is a team that's looking for someone to step up and be the guy.
Well, Anthony Lawrence now in at quarterback for the Toreros.
Red shirt freshman. He's 6'1", 190 pounds.
Blake Martin in at tailback. So Coach Lindsey kind of going down through here as you see the red shirt freshman taking over the offense here, as Trey Wheeler will watch from the sidelines in support. Armstrong is the tailback who lines up to the left side. Pass is caught over the middle, and that's Ross Dwelly, the all-conference tight end, who makes the grab and gets a little bit closer to that first down marker. He'll be a couple of yards shy.
But what's important is it sets up that 3rd and short, which is a position that every offense tries to be in.
Well, the Toreros have had a tough time of it on 3rd down. Just 1 for 9 tonight on 3rd down opportunities, and this is one they don't get much closer than this on 3rd down.
Yeah, and this is again another time where you wish you had your star running back. So see how much of an impact that'll have on this offense even more as this clock runs down. Doesn't look like, looks like they're going to take the timeout.
Timeout.
Talk this
University
one over.
of San Diego.
So
First of the half. Immediate timeout.
Coach Lindsey will go things over here at timeout in San Diego. Aztecs in firm control in the 3rd. Well, with all the scoring, these ladies have been busy here tonight with the Aztecs on top 27-0. Good start for San Diego State. As we mentioned, Darius, at the top of the broadcast, a lot expected of this Aztecs football team this season. Lawrence rolls to his right. His pass is caught by Dwelly. Ross Dwelly with another reception. And all preseason Pioneer Football League performer at tight end.
That's a good throw and an okay series so far for Anthony Lawrence, being thrown into the fire here. And what's so great for USD in this moment is there's so many learning points right now for this team in this game. So it's great to get a guy like Anthony Lawrence some time against the first defense in San Diego State.
Lawrence wants to throw again. This one is caught again by Dwelly. So he and Dwelly got something going on here as he stopped right at midfield.
A little bit of momentum here. You mentioned Ross Dwelly. He's number 85, just going to come right across your screen. And Lawrence hits him right in stride.
Yeah, Naeem McGee came in and kind of laid the lumber on him there.
He got a little wood on him.
But boy, Dwelly at 6'5", 240.
He is a big man.
I don't know who gets the better of that one. So 1st and 10, just across midfield here at the 49 in Aztecs territory. Toreros on the move. Lawrence to his right. That pass is caught. Justin Priest on the reception for being driven out of bounds. So continue to move the football.
Yeah, Anthony Lawrence again doing a good job hitting the wide receivers, making the right reads. They're really shortening it up to where he can get a little confidence and get going with the short passes.
And out to that right side, and boy, picking up some big yards there. Another First down, Chris Wilson out there. Again, a little bit of a different look for the defense. I mean, it ain't pretty, is it? But he's getting the job done.
It does. It most certainly does get the job done. And the biggest thing is moving the sticks right now, working their way into Aztec territory.
Well, the Toreros finally in some positive movement here offensively, something they've been taking a little too much time, unfortunately, in this game. It was the longest run of the night, by the way, for San Diego. And it comes at around the 5-minute mark here with that much time remaining here in quarter number 3.
Delay a game. Offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Another drive staller. I mean, these things take the wind out of your sails. They really do on an offense. You can get things going, and then when you have a penalty, it messes up the system. It really does.
Well, messes up too so much the rhythm of this drive. So good test here for Lawrence and the leadership ability here as he pump fakes and goes down the right side, and the pass goes out of bounds. Brian Riley, the intended receiver.
And that's the problem here, is that when you're an offensive coordinator and you're looking at your playbook, there's not a whole lot that you have.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 58, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
Wow.
USD catches a big break here in roughing the passer.
And Alex Barrett called on the penalty. 6 penalties for 50 yards in this game. That'll be something I'm sure that Rocky Long and his staff will address.
Not going to be any smiles there.
Nope. Barrett an all Mountain West honorable mention a year ago. Lawrence with the handoff in the backfield. And it's Blake Martin once again with the carry.
As we get a shot here.
He picks up 6 as an offensive adjustment here. Something we haven't talked about defensively, though, for San Diego State is an interesting defensive rotation that Rocky Long has with his defensive players. This is Wilson now, charges up the middle, and he's dropped at the 10-yard line. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it at all.
Well, sometimes it just kind of catches the defense off guard. You don't notice that a new quarterback has run in. You don't notice it until it's too late at times. Then you're gashed with those creases. And right now, I got to give USD credit. They're finding something with the quarterback change in Anthony Lawrence.
Wilson still out there, tucks it under his left arm this time, drives ahead, and is met. Naeem McGee among the first to make contact there as Wilson is stopped at the 8-yard line. A 10-plus play drive being put together here by the Toreros. Jordan Watson officially credited with the tackle. Put on some weight, did Watson, 30 pounds since arriving on campus. Young sophomore, 3rd year in the program, played in a couple of games last year.
Yeah, he's getting some valuable experience here today. The coaches are leaning on him to be one of those defenders that is just tenacious.
Lawrence back in at quarterback, rolls to his right and has to get rid of it. Calvin Munson.
Who else?
Right in his face.
Calvin Munson continuing to put on a clinic here.
Boy, Shea, Munson's been all over the place tonight, hasn't he?
And he also pitches for the baseball team. Was drafted in the 31st round of the 2013 MLB draft by the Cardinals. So two-sport athlete is Munson. And asking Coach Long about Munson splitting his time between the two teams, he says, you know, it's worked out for him as he's got a good relationship with the baseball coach and they've kind of worked around his schedule. And he says he doesn't mind when players contribute to two teams as long as they're making a difference on both teams. So Calvin Munson, of course, making a difference definitely for this football team tonight, guys.
This goes to show you the incredible athlete.
Timeout.
Munson
University of
is.
San Diego. Second of the half. Media timeout.
Look at his numbers today. I mean, he's got 8 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 for loss.
It's been quite a night for the San Diego State defense.
Yes,
the offense hasn't done too badly either by putting up some big points to the board. Third down for the Toreros. Lawrence out of the shotgun, looking for the end zone, and just off the fingertips and beyond the reach of Justin Priest.
He had a man wide open, just couldn't thread the needle enough to give Priest an opportunity to catch the ball. And you talk about missed opportunities on third down here. You'll see Lawrence look and throw it, and Priest is open. Just can't quite put it on the money to make it happen, which means they're going to have to try to settle for 3 here.
So Jack Flataw is on for the 25-yard field goal attempt. And it's stopped. And Flato is down on the ground.
There's a flag.
So the penalty
Personal
flag.
foul. Roughing the kicker.
Roughing.
Number 23. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Now this is where, Rocky Long loses it internally, for his team. It all started when they had an opportunity to get him off the field, and then there was a roughing the passer. And now on a field goal try that was missed, there's a roughing the kicker here. Just clipped the leg there. Looked like DeMonte Casey that got him. But just nerve-wracking for Rocky Long, to say the least. Because these are mental errors. It's not things that, you got a guy who doesn't make a play. These are just mental errors that you can control to a certain extent.
Handoff, stacked up and stopped there. Blake Martin on the carry. And it's interesting, that seems to be the only knock on the night for DeMonte Casey. The 3 interceptions. But the funny thing is, it might be that penalty is what Rocky Long comes to about, right?
You can rest assured that he will get an earful from Rocky.
Okay, the 3 interceptions, right. Let's talk about the roughing the kicker.
Let's talk about what really matters here and the mistakes you made. Oh, gotta love coaches.
This is Wilson, switches hands, the big fella inside the 5. Wilson kind of gets up a little gingerly.
Yeah, an interesting counter play here for Chris Wilson, the specialty quarterback at this point. We have yet to see him throw a pass. With third and 4. Might not be a bad time to try it, but watch him. It's just going to be a counter play back to the other side. Tries to get around the edge, and looks like he lands on that shoulder a little bit.
Well, Wilson stays out there on 3rd and goal. Thinks about throwing it. Now he's going to run it again, and he's going to be stopped as he tries to stretch it to that right side. And Munson is there along with Malik Smith, both in pursuit.
Again, Munson continues to put on a clinic. But for the first time, we saw them attempt to pass with Chris Wilson. Unfortunately, you got to give credit to the defense because no one was open. Just looking towards the middle of that field, and then watch Munson come in and lay the just lick there. Hoping Munson is really having an excellent game.
Now, it looked like Wilson, he was looking at one option, and if it wasn't there, he wasn't really surveying. There wasn't different checks, right? It was one guy, and if it ain't there, he's running. The 9th tackle for loss for Munson, and the field goal is good. So San Diego gets on the board with the field goal here from Jack Flataw. They make it 27-3 with 18 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3.
You really got to be, sort of kicking yourself if you're USD. They had 2 opportunities here to put a touchdown on the board. Instead, they're having to settle for 3 because once again, for whatever reason, the offense seems to stall. And I think we got to keep giving credit to San Diego State and Rocky Long and their philosophy and what they're doing defensively. to really keep USD off balance, but two missed opportunities there for the offense.
And again, that's just where you miss Jonah Hodges, or that consistent running back presence that they were hoping to have. And not just from the running situation, but we threw out the numbers that he had 154 yards receiving last season, and he had a nice catch, 2 catches tonight. So he's so versatile and can be a weapon in the passing game as well.
Yeah, but again, I mean, he's out the rest of the game with the fractured clavicle, and might be a bit of speculation here, but if you watch when he gets tackled and he kind of lands on that right side, that shoulder there. Again, the diagnosis is a fractured clavicle. But you see him adjust the shoulder there. We heard Shea tell us that it was all about, he just felt weird. We'll check it out at halftime and realize what it was.
So a short kick here.
A fair catch signal was given, which causes the ball to become dead and cannot be advanced. First down.
All right, so San Diego State.
The ball cannot be advanced once a fair catch signal is given.
Well, right now, 17 seconds left in the quarter. Again, talking conventional wisdom here. Let's take a running play of some sort. Get into the fourth quarter here. But I'm still anxious to see when we'll see Christian Chapman, second string quarterback.
Well, one would think that with Smith out there, he would stay out there for the series. And this is Pumphrey, still on his feet. Boy, he's slippery and elusive. But went back and forth for about 6 or 7 yards, only to dive ahead for 1 and trying to get it back near the line of scrimmage as time
This
expires
is the end of the
here.
third quarter. Media timeout.
Quarter number 3. But the third quarter did mean the first points of the game for the Toreros, the field goal. But the Aztecs still on top 27-3 in this one. And how about Rashad Penny going 97 yards in a kick return for a touchdown? Smith's pass to open quarter number 4 here is complete.
David Wells there, the backup tight end. Sophomore, 6'5", 255 pounds. Boy, they got some size here at tight end.
Oh, yeah. They certainly do.
Between David Wells and Daniel Brunskill, man, you see big weapons like that.
Well, third down and short. The big guy after his catch. Pumphrey still out there here to start quarter number 4. He charges ahead. He's got the first down.
Yeah, I really think that this is one of those times where, as a player, you question sometimes, well, coach, why are you leaving the, your star players out there at a time like this? Well, for Rocky Long, he is just not, he's not excited about the play here, the performance here. And one way of showing that is telling your starters, no matter what, you're playing the rest of the game. I'm just upset. We got to get some things going with you guys. You're going to have to stay out there.
Smith comes near side, pass is complete to Judge. And Judge has got another first down near midfield. William Moore on the tackle. So get these receivers going, and you talked earlier about Judge. He missed the end of spring practice with a leg injury. Last year played in 12 games, 5 starts, 24 catches, a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a big body wide receiver too at 6'1", so you like the matchup when you have those smaller DBs that you see from time to time.
And on that completion, Smith now at 100 yards passing for the game after a slow start. Coming near side, that's Penny. Rashad Penny on that 97-yard kickoff return, one of the big highlights, and earning himself some time here on the offense.
Most certainly, I think he's definitely deserves it after that kick return. But we've talked about the running backs at San Diego State. How many different weapons they have is just a testament to it. The guy who's number 3 on the depth chart can take it 90-something yards for a touchdown.
Isn't it?
That's pretty good.
We got a shot of the sideline there. Number 5, one of the receivers for San Diego State, Chase Favreau. And a quarterback, as they charge ahead here close to the first down marker, just going to be a little bit shy, is Pumphrey. But yeah, Favreau, a converted wide receiver, and we asked Coach Horton yesterday, the offensive coordinator, some guys he's looking forward to seeing. He's excited to see him, but only just one catch for him in this game here tonight. 3rd down and 1. Pumphrey has the first down and is able to charge through that first level before finally being stopped at about the 41-yard line. But another first down, and the clock continues to wind here, or as they move the chains, excuse me, it pauses just briefly and then starts to run again. Smith steps up, he'll run with it. He's got a first down inside the 30 and dives ahead. You got to like that a little bit there as he goes out of bounds at the 14. He didn't take the easy way out there.
No, not at all. And this is where the building blocks really start to take effect. We talked about Maxwell Smith and his inexperience over the last few years. You leave him in here even though the game is somewhat out of reach so that he can have these experience where he has to make his reads, sees that no one is open, you got to take off running. So that's why Rocky Long still has his starters in the game right now, because he wants them to get those valuable experiences right now.
28-yard run, the longest of the night. And another first down. Smith on play action. And just decides to kind of throw it to the ground. Favreau the closest in the vicinity. Stops the clock with 11:22 left.
Donnell Pumphrey getting into the pass protection game that last play. Like to see him go down and make that block. And right over here at 100 yards from Maxwell Smith. Again, rusty is the word that Rocky Long used at halftime for his quarterback.
On that 28-yard run, the longest of his career. Showing some quickness and with the feet. I mean, at 6'5", 235, I mean, he's that prototypical big quarterback that you want running an offense like this, right?
Yeah, you know, and he's a guy who, he had a couple of injuries when he was at Kentucky, an ankle injury that he missed some time. He had a torn rotator cuff where he missed some time in Kentucky as well. So he's been around. Hopefully he can stay healthy here and get some valuable experience under his belt and become a better player.
As we mentioned off the top there, the preseason pick to win the division. Smith loses the football, but I think he recovered it. Knocked loose. The defense got a hand on it, and Jonathan Peterson, number 95, the sophomore defensive end, another all-Pioneer Football League performer. Led the team with 5 sacks a year ago. 9.5 tackles for loss, 30 tackles. So Smith will come to the sideline. And Donnie Hagman will come out to attempt a field goal.
See if he can go 3 for 3 on the evening.
38, getting a little bit further back there, on its way and good. A 37-yard field goal officially for Hagman. So Hagman 3 for 3 on field goals, adds a couple more points to the board here. Now a 27-point lead, 30-3 Aztecs in the fourth rather. 7-yard field goal from Donnie Hagman has staked the Aztecs now to a 30-3 advantage here with 9:57 remaining in quarter number 4. Ray Crawford along with Darius Walker. Shea Pepler on the sidelines for us. Glad to have you with us here in the Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. Really enjoyed our time out here on the West Coast. I had the opportunity to have a game on Thursday. Darius, you also pulling double duty.
Yeah, we're working
this week as well. You had a game on Thursday. Shea was busy back in the studio taking care of things back home in Chicago for us on the kick return here. It's Brian Riley, and Riley across the 20-yard line. He stopped at the 21. Riley will stay back out there, one of the receivers on this offense for San Diego. And Anthony Lawrence is back out to run things at quarterback.
Now they seem to have found something the last series with Anthony Lawrence. Drove him down, kicked the field goal. But that all started with the short passes. Let's see if they dial some of that up again.
And he is 4 of 6 for 39 yards passing. A flag down on the play before the snap.
Offsides, number 95, defense with contact. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Noble Hall.
Again, the teaching moments continue to come out now. Noble Hall, the freshman, inexperienced, his first game today. Those are all building and learning blocks for the young defensive tackle.
Armstrong in the handoff, nothing doing as he tries to go to the left side. May have picked up 1 yard on that play. When you talk about, as we approach 9.5 minutes left, a lot of time still for these two teams to get some work in, but you start to peer ahead a little bit here at the schedule. San Diego State, what lies ahead for them is a matchup against the Pac-12 foe in Cal.
Exactly why you want to get the cobwebs out now, because Cal is going to come ready to play.
Take a look at the Aztecs schedule here after Lawrence takes this snap, fires to the left side. The pass is caught. That's Riley on the reception. Calvin Munson with another tackle. So at Cal, and I've had a chance to talk to Sonny Dykes, and whether I don't know if there's many more exciting quarterbacks than Jared Goff for the Golden Bears. South Alabama comes to town on September the 19th. And they head out to Penn State. And they start to get in quickly, tested. That's going to be one we've got circled in the Mountain West Conference against the Bulldogs, October the 3rd. Then they travel to Hawaii. And a point to be made about Hawaii and the connection with the Toreros here in just a moment as we talk a little bit about their schedule.
Yeah, we get a look at them in that Pioneer Football League. Again, they're expected to repeat as the champion of that league. And games like this are where they start to get those building blocks. But you look at Valparaiso, 26, just in a couple of weeks. And Dayton and Drake. And really got to get going early, because those divisional games start to happen and you got to be ready to go. So that's why a game like this is so important for both teams, specifically in week 1.
And I mentioned the connection between the Toreros, their schedule, and Hawaii. We talked to Coach Lindsay yesterday, and in terms of travel, it looks like another first down here as they're able to move the chains in San Diego. But you look at their schedule, and the travel, he said, was the second most that he understands to Hawaii. And Shay, they're going to be logging some serious miles, right?
I'd love to get those miles too.
Yeah, guys, their next closest game is in Iowa at Drake, which is insane to me. That's near where we're from.
Yeah, they go down to Stetson, which is in Florida. They go to Davidson in North Carolina.
Yeah, they
go to Dayton in Ohio. They're spread out all over the place.
They really are. Hey, I just came back from San Diego sidelines. Nick Henson and Jamal Agnew both had little tweaks, but trainer said they looked at them. They're okay. They'll be fine. As far as the chemistry and what's going on over there on the sideline, they said they're just basically trying to play 60 minutes of football at this point. They're not exactly happy with the outcome that's coming out of this game, but they're still going to fight, and everyone seems to be just calm and collective over there. Not a lot of energy, but at the same time, not so down in the dumps. So 60 minutes of football is the goal here.
Yeah, you know, as always, when we talk about that, that's one of the things they preach in the locker room is no matter what time of the game it is, you have to finish this out. You got to finish it out in a nice way. 60 minutes of football.
Lawrence throwing to his right, and it's caught. Riley has it, takes a big hit, and then finally goes down to the ground, but hangs on to it.
Yeah, and that's a guy's name we haven't called enough of. Number 7, J.J. Whittaker. just like DeMonte Casey, he's on that Thorpe watch list, which is for the #1 cornerback in college football. So he's a captain on this team last year, 63 tackles and 2 interceptions, but he comes up and just gives Riley don't come in this area.
Yeah, Riley, he stayed on his feet. Give him credit, right?
Yeah.
He hung in
back. He sure did.
Well, no player has started on the field anyway. And in this game, more games at San Diego State, 26, than Whitaker has. That pass is complete for a first down from Lawrence to Dwelly.
Yeah, and you're really seeing why Dwelly has done so well, and he's the #1 target at tight end.
Guys, we're talking about J.J. Whitaker. He's 24 years old. He's the oldest player on the team. Coach says it does make a little bit of a difference as far as maturity goes. He thinks the older guys really appreciate it more. Jake Feely follows him. He's right there, around 23 years old.
That's a veteran for you right there. A veteran in the locker room.
They call him Pops. I remember 24. 24 was a few years back.
Yes, it was.
Well, you like to have that kind of maturity and that presence in the football team.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just the example that a guy like that sets in the locker room, and how to go to work, how to come to work, how to play. Even though this game is technically over with under 5 minutes left, he's still out there laying the wood and playing through. So young guys take notice of the veterans and how they play, specifically at times when the game is sort of out of reach.
And he already has his degree, graduated in May with a criminal justice degree, scheduled to get his master's in December. So getting the job done in the classroom as well. Lawrence throw, pass is complete to Trevor Barney. Barney, the 5'9", 175-pound sophomore. As the Toreros just continue to move the football here, just kind of piecing things together, move down the field. I mean, it'd be nice for them to find the end zone.
At least once before the game is over with, and you got to give Anthony Lawrence credit. He's commanded this offense really, really well.
Oh, pass intercepted. It's Munson with his second of the night. He's already got 1 pick six. Is he going to get another? Calvin Munson. Touchdown, Aztecs. How about that? Calvin Munson on the pick. And brings it all the way back for 6. His first 2 interception game and the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he is putting on a clinic.
I mean, between him and Casey.
Oh, man. Talk about having a heck of a night. Yeah, he's winded. Give him a break. Jeez Louise. But this all starts with the tip ball. Falls right into the lap of Munson. He's looking like a fullback running with the ball out there. Watch his cut up. I mean, that's some instincts for you right there.
And who's laying the block on the quarterback? Lawrence
out there laying the wood.
Now these guys are having fun, that's for sure.
Certainly are. But I can guarantee you, when they went to the sideline, no smiles from Rocky Long.
That's what we need to do. We should focus a camera on Rocky Long, a Rocky Long cam for the next 335.
No smiles from Rocky.
Boy, what a night for him. 11 tackles, 2.5 for a loss, 2 interceptions, 2 pick six. Now 6 career INTs.
Sometimes it's all about being in the right place at the right time.
He's all smiles down there.
And look at that stat there. The 6 career interception return for a touchdown. They might want to think about getting this guy on the offense. Give him a chance. We've seen J.J. Watt do it. Why not?
Why not? Extra point is good. And so add another one to the board. 37-3, San Diego State on their way to win #1 of 2015. Oh yeah, Calvin Munson. He's got that down, doesn't he?
He most certainly does, man. I've been so impressed with the handshakes. Shay mentioned it, but these handshakes are so choreographed now. I just feel like I've been left out. You know, like, I don't know what's going on. And he has different ones depending upon which player that the handshake is with. So you also got to remember multiple handshakes.
That takes some work, doesn't it? We got a Mohawk brewing there, too, on the bench.
There it is.
What we got going there? Number 99 right there. Oh, yeah.
Look at John
looking
Sanchez.
sharp. Looking sharp.
I like it.
You got to stay cool, right, through fall camp.
Come on, this is San Diego. You got to be a hipster.
You know what? I was asking Fresno State and Abilene Christian the other day about heat as the kickoff is bobbled there, and heat. What heat? This is cool. This time of the year. Calvin Munson with 2 pick six in this game. San Diego State on top.
Timeout.
Back here from San Diego, you're looking at a great crowd. 48,785 on hand here at Qualcomm Stadium to watch this one. San Diego State with a 37-3 lead here with just about 3.5 minutes left to go in quarter number 4. Well, don't worry about missing any highlights around the college football nation after the game. Check out Rewind on CampusInsiders.com, our collection of best plays, craziest moments from today's action. A short game there for San Diego. Crew working hard back in our studios, and the videos come up as they happen, as the games conclude, and a lot of in-game highlights, which we're excited about having on the website as well this year. As we approach 3 minutes to go. We've got a lot of San Diego connections, obviously, in this game.
Kind of goes without saying.
Lawrence with the handoff to Blake Martin on that left side.
But you really have to be impressed with what San Diego State has been able to achieve. You know, one of the things that I think gets understated is their ability to play at home. Because last year they went 6-0 at home. They did not lose a game at home, and that extends into this season now with a week 1 win here. So Rocky Long and his staff know how to get it done, but they surely have made Qualcomm Stadium a tough place to play for any opponent.
And they have confidence. I mean, they've definitely turned it into a home field advantage. And to have a good crowd on hand like tonight certainly helps. I know it was tough for us to get in tonight. I mean, the traffic was backed up. People were excited to get in and get this. I don't know if they were excited. They might be just as excited about the tailgating as the game itself.
Well, there's also a fireworks show afterwards, which really gets you jacked up a little bit there as well. But a lot of positives for San Diego State. And they're really, when you really think about the Mountain West and the success that San Diego State has had, they really want to emulate another member of the Mountain West, and that's Boise State. They've had so much success. The Aztecs really want to be able to emulate that.
I'll tell you,
good job of it.
They certainly are. It's Chris Wilson with his first pass attempt. We've seen him run. Threw a pretty good ball there for a guy with a glove on, right?
Not bad. The running quarterback also has an arm. Maybe he'll get some more opportunities to throw it as the season goes on. But I think if you're San Diego, you know, we've talked so much this game about the lack of production offensively, but it seems that Anthony Lawrence might have given them something different. Maybe there's a little bit of a spark. He had a couple of drives and got the offense moving in some kind of direction that was positive. So you got to look on the bright side there and say that your team learned a valuable lesson, but you also may have found another quarterback, another player who can give you something different if need be.
Yeah. Pass there, incomplete. But like you said, yeah, it seems like they've had some success moving the football.
And then Chris Wilson, you know, we saw him just throw his first pass, but he's run the ball very effectively in this game from the quarterback position. So there's definitely some positives for USD.
Yeah, the Toreros are gonna, they're gonna win some football games this year. There's no question about it. Handoff here to Armstrong out of the backfield as he spins, and he's dropped at the 35-yard line. And Rocky Long wants a timeout with 1:19 left in this one.
Timeout.
And we'll have that final minute 19 for you when we return from San Diego. The Aztecs on their way to win one. The final 1:19 remaining here in San Diego. The Aztecs The game began with a defensive touchdown. Calvin Munson with what would be the start of a very big night for him. With a 19-yard interception return for a touchdown. There's actually a punt happening right now, bouncing at the 40 and 35. Toreros roll here. It's finally going to be spotted, it looks like, at the 25-yard line. And this last minute 19, I'm wondering who we'll see here to come out for this final offensive drive for the Aztecs. Perhaps Christian Chapman?
Maybe we get a chance to see number 10.
Looks
like it. Now, again, the coaches knew that he was going to play at some point today. Gets in with about a minute left. But you got to understand, I mean, this was a full-out QB battle during training camp between him and Maxwell Smith.
As Chapman rolls back and goes downfield and has his man open. And a great catch there by Rashad Penny. But Penny's put together quite a night as well, coming out of the backfield on the reception.
I'm telling you, he's showing you how much versatility he has. But what about that throw from Christian Chapman? He's just going to step back and look right across the middle there. There goes Penny.
Yeah, guys, in talking to Coach about Christian Chapman, I mean, he talked about this strong arm. He says he's got some good skills. He's extremely accurate. He's made some big strides as far as understanding the game and the way that they want him to play in this system. So not surprising there that that's the first play he makes.
Yeah, and that's a good confidence booster, too. His first pass is a completion and a good way to start his collegiate career. And
well, I can tell you, I don't know if Rocky Long can say he looked rusty.
No, he can't. Well, he's not going to be able to say that.
He's not going to be able to at least say that.
Oh, yes. And it's a good opportunity for him. He redshirted, ended up redshirting last year, but he was one of a couple of 3 true freshmen that traveled with the team. He just never saw any action last year. As Marcus Stamps gets the final carry of the ball game, and this one comes to a close as the clock hits zeros, and Rocky Long is going to go out and shake hands with Dale Lindsey, the 2 veteran coaches. One makes a 4-mile trip with their team, the other a 3-mile trip here to Qualcomm Stadium as they share a smile and a laugh. They are 2 coaches that have been around the game a long time, as Rocky Long and the Aztecs come away with this one 37-3. And some things certainly to smile about for the rest of this team. If not, we got a little bit of a smile. Coach Lindsey, we knew he'd draw a smile out of Coach Long.
He's excited. He's a bit excited. He knows that this was a good experience for his team. Again, nothing beats that experience. But for San Diego State, did a lot of things well today, but also many things to improve upon.
We saw Chase Price there. When this Aztecs offense couldn't really find a rhythm and needed to get something going, they put Price in there with a bit of a change of pace. All right, let's see if Shay's got Coach any happier down there. Shay?
Yeah, Coach, I have Coach here with me now. Coach, I know you weren't so happy heading into the half. How do you think your team finished things out tonight?
Well, I thought we did some nice things on special teams, and on defense, I think both teams played really well on defense. I don't think anybody's happy with the way their offense played tonight, and we're not either. We got a long way to go.
Speaking of your defense, Calvin Munson coming up big for you tonight. How impressed were you with his performance?
Well, I mean, he made a couple really nice interceptions and ran them back really well. I mean, we also had another guy get 3 interceptions, so the defense played well. We got to score more points on offense if we want to be any good, though.
All right, thanks, Coach. I appreciate the time. And Calvin Munson actually joins me down here as well, guys, as my poor cameraman's running over my wires. Calvin, what a night for you. What seemed to be working so well?
I mean, a lot of credit to the D-line, getting a pass rush to get the quarterback kind of scrambling a little bit. And, I mean, he kind of threw it right to me both times. I kind of got lucky, like I was blessed right there. But, yeah, the defense really helped me out. It was a group effort.
2 pick sixes for you. Tell me what the feeling was running through that end zone.
I mean, it was great. I mean, I got some great lead blockers. I mean, first and foremost, glory to God. He blessed me tonight. But, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a blast.
All right, Calvin, congratulations. Thanks for the time.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Shay, and that caps a great night to talk to Shea Pepler after a game. That's just the icing on the cake.
I was really hoping that Shea would hit him with some kind of handshake, like Just, something to get junking and driving with in the club, man.
So what a great night it was
Incredible game for him.
For the Aztecs, their defense, and DeMonte Casey had a great night as well. And San Diego State moves on as it's Cal is next on the schedule for them after this 37-3 victory here at home. Calvin Munson started things off with the scoring with the pick six from 19 yards out. Donnell Pumphrey, a big night, running the game as well. Rashad Penny, 97 yards on a kick return, all part of a big night for San Diego State. For my partner Darius Walker and Shea Pepler on the sideline, I'm Ray Crawford. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of the Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. Good night, everybody.